The romance genre is known for its wild and wacky tropes, which keeps it fun and fresh even when we're getting 10 new shows every season. One extremely entertaining scenario is when a boy and a girl are forced to live together. This weird situation often leads to a dynamic plot and has given us some great romantic comedies over the years. So in this video, I'm going to tell you guys about 10 of the best romantic anime where the couple is forced to share a roof. The first show on our list is the extremely popular romantic comedy My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex. Now when I first heard of this anime, I straight up thought we were getting Domestic Girlfriend Part 2, but I was pleasantly surprised by just how wholesome this anime gets at times. Now as the not too subtle title suggests, the show follows two former lovers who end up becoming step-siblings. As you can imagine, this isn't a great situation for our protagonist Mizuto, who suddenly finds himself sharing his most intimate moments with Yume, who used to be his girlfriend. The two of them try their best to adapt to this new situation, but living together has only rekindled their feelings, and this leads to a romance that's both cute and hilarious. Next up, we have Love Flops, another romantic comedy that won many hearts at the end of 2022. Now, this show began in the most generic way possible, which made me want to drop it altogether. But I'm glad that I didn't, because what initially looked like another run-of-the-mill harem anime turned out to be a rather deep and touching show. Now, without spoiling anything, the show follows Asahi, who has some crazy encounters with 5 women on his way to school. These encounters leave him confused, but things get weirder when he learns that these 5 women are sent by his father and they're going to be living with him. Apparently, his dad wants him to marry one of them, which explains why all the girls are trying to win his heart. As I've explained, this anime is much more than what it looks like, and if you're a harem fan, you're going to love this one. At number 8, we have our first isekai, Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy. This show gained a huge following thanks to its satirical humor, which reminded many people of the all-time classic Konosuba. However, unlike Konosuba, this anime does have a fair share of romance. Our protagonist Makoto is also an all-out Shad, who is so damn strong that he manages to beat 2 mythical beings a day after he lands in a strange new world. These creatures take on human form and start following Makoto as his servants. Our boy now finds himself surrounded by 2 beautiful women who are doing anything they can to win his affection. While this seems like an incel's dream, Makoto actually feels trapped, but his situation forces him to put up with these girls. This strange dynamic is exactly what makes this show so hilarious and addictive, so definitely check it out if you're looking to have a good time. Next up, we have Taisho Otome, Fairy Tail, which might just be the most wholesome romantic anime I've ever seen. This show tells the story of how our protagonist Tamahiko is saved by Yuzuki. You see, Tamahiko lost the function of his right hand after an accident that took his mother's life. Soon after this, his rich father banished him to a mountain villa where he spends his days in complete misery. Luckily, in his darkest hour, he meets Yuzuki, who is sent by his father as his soon-to-be bride. Tamahiko doesn't want her around, but he can't disobey his father, so he puts up with her. His decision proves to be life-changing as Yuzuki helps him get out of his cycle of pessimism. She also showers him with love, which helps Tamahiko see the beauty around him for the first time in a long while. Moving on, we have Kamisama Kiss at number 6 on our list. Now this show simply slaps. It's a great romantic drama about a girl who suddenly becomes a goddess and develops feelings for her divine servant. The girl in question is Nanami, whose life takes a drastic turn when her father runs away, leaving her alone and homeless. Her luck, however, turns when she gets chosen as the new goddess of a shrine. Since living on the street doesn't really excite her, she decides to take up this intriguing position. And this is how she meets her divine familiar Tomoe, who doesn't approve of her at all. However, as the two of them spend more and more time together, their feelings change and we get a romance anime that feels fresh even a decade after it was released. At number 5, we have Arakawa, Under the Bridge, an anime that gave me so many laughing fits because of its goofy and over-the-top humor. The anime takes place literally under a bridge, where a mysterious girl named Ninu saves the life and dignity of our protagonist Ko. Ko is a billionaire's son and believes in repaying his debts, so he decides to become Nino's boyfriend to pay her back for saving him. But he soon realizes that Ninu isn't a normal girl. She lives in a community of weirdos and doesn't believe in materialistic things. Being in a relationship with her is a daunting task for Ko, but he doesn't back out. Instead, he tries to adapt to his wild surroundings, giving us a show that has become a darling in the underground anime scene. Moving on, we have Fufuijo, another full romance that broke viewership records thanks to its extremely entertaining and complex love story. This anime revolves around Jiro, who has been paired up with his classmate Akari for a practical course. In this course, the couples will live in the same apartments so they can learn about the hardships and bliss of married life. While most students are just trying to finish the course with good grades, Jiro and Akari start developing feelings for each other. However, these feelings collide with their previous beliefs, and some cause tension between them. This is one of the rare trash anime that actually gets to the point. Things develop quickly between our couple, and by the end of the first season, we actually get a lot of romantic moments. So if you like trashy shows, but want something with some depth, this is the perfect anime for you. Leaving the trashy shows behind, we come to the first gem on our list. I'm talking about the classic romance Spice and Wolf. This is one of those anime that you have to watch if you want to graduate as a full-fledged weeb. This show is set in medieval Europe, where spice trader Lawrence finds himself in a rather tricky situation. A mythical goddess named Hollow wants him to take her away from a village where people are looking for her. Even though Lawrence is shocked by her appearance, he agrees to give her a lift, and this marks the beginning of an adventure that will stay with you for a long time. The relationship between Hollow and Lawrence is a rather mature one, which means the romance is also a lot more nuanced. So if you're tired of generic romance anime, you can always check this one out. The runner-up spot is occupied by the Pet Girl of Sakurasou, an anime that first introduced me to the beauty of romantic dramas. This highly underrated anime shows us life inside Sakurasou, a hostel dedicated to housing the misfits of a prestigious high school. Thanks to some unlucky circumstances, our protagonist Sorata is sent to live in this notorious hostel. While he's making plans to get back to normal dormitories, a girl named Mashiro enters his life. She's a complete airhead, and Sorata becomes her caretaker while he tries to get his own life together. The time he unwillingly spends with Mashiro not only motivates him to chase his dreams, but also becomes the most precious time of his life. He makes new friends and falls in love with a girl who turns out to be a genius artist. This is an insanely profound anime, and I really hope you guys check it out. Now before we reveal the number 1 spot, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel so that we can keep bringing you cool content like this. And this brings us to the number 1 anime on our list. And for me, this spot belongs to Fruit Basket. I mean, do I even have to explain? This anime fulfills our criteria, since our protagonist Toru has no choice but to live in Summer House, where she meets the love of her life. Her interactions with Yuki and Kyo are both wholesome and deep. With 3 seasons, the show had enough time to develop relationships between not just our main characters, but between the entire cast as well. The animation, the subtle yet highly organic soundtracks, and even the character design ensured that this anime stays on top whenever we're talking about romance genre. So stop skipping on this one just because it looks too wholesome for you. Who knows, you might just become a better human being after meeting Toru. And that wraps up today's video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.